Chapter 13, Game Night Shenanigans. The library board meeting had gone better than expected, thanks to Paige's meticulous planning and Elliot's charm. With the fundraiser preparations in full swing, they decided it was time for a well-deserved break. Maggie, ever the social butterfly, suggested a double-date game night with her new boyfriend, who turned out to be none other than Elliot's best friend, Jasper. As Paige and Elliot arrived at Maggie's cozy apartment, the air was thick with the scent of buttered popcorn and the promise of adventure. Maggie greeted them with her trademark enthusiasm, her wild red curls bobbing as she ushered them inside. "You're just in time," Maggie exclaimed. "Jasper's setting up the game. You won't believe what he's brought." Paige raised an eyebrow at Elliot, who shrugged innocently. "I may have mentioned that you've been getting more comfortable with magic," he said with a wink. As they entered the living room, Jasper looked up from the coffee table where he was arranging an ornate wooden game board. "Ah, the guests of honor. Ready for a night of enchanted entertainment?" Paige eyed the board curiously. It seemed to shimmer slightly, the intricate patterns etched into its surface shifting and changing as she watched. "What exactly are we playing?" Jasper's eyes twinkled mischievously. "It's called Realms of Wonder. Think of it as a magical version of those adventure board games you're used to. Only in this one, the adventures tend to come to life." "Don't worry," Elliot reassured Paige, noticing her slightly apprehensive look. "It's perfectly safe. Mostly." Maggie clapped her hands excitedly. "Oh, come on, Paige. Where's your sense of adventure? This is going to be so much fun." Unable to resist her friend's infectious enthusiasm, Paige found herself settling onto the floor around the coffee table. "All right, I'm in. But if I end up turned into a frog or something, you're all responsible for explaining it to the library board." As Jasper began explaining the rules, the game board suddenly illuminated, projecting a shimmering, three-dimensional map into the air above it. Miniature trees sprouted from forests, tiny waves crashed against shorelines, and minuscule creatures could be seen scurrying about. "Wow," Paige breathed, reaching out to touch the illusion. Her finger passed through it, causing ripples like a stone dropped in a pond. "Isn't it amazing?" Maggie gushed, her eyes wide with wonder. "Jasper, you've outdone yourself." Jasper preened a bit at the praise. "Wait until you see what happens when we start playing. Everyone, choose your character token." Four exquisitely detailed figurines appeared on the board. Paige selected a wise-looking librarian, of course, Elliot chose a flamboyant wizard, Maggie picked a fierce warrior princess, and Jasper settled on a roguish bard. As soon as they placed their tokens on the starting space, Paige felt a strange tingling sensation. She gasped as her clothes transformed, shimmering and changing until she found herself wearing the robes of her character token. "What just happened?" she asked, examining her new outfit with a mixture of alarm and fascination. Elliot, now resplendent in colorful wizard's robes, grinned. "The game is bringing our characters to life. Don't worry, it's just an illusion. Though I must say, you look rather fetching as a magical librarian." Maggie, who was admiring her warrior princess armor, giggled. "This is so cool. Okay, who goes first?" Jasper rolled an ornate die, which floated in the air before landing on the board. "Looks like it's Paige's turn to start our adventure." Paige took a deep breath and moved her token. As soon as it landed, the room around them shimmered and changed. Suddenly, they found themselves standing in a lush forest glade, the game board now a pedestal in the center. "Welcome, adventurers," a disembodied voice boomed. "Your quest begins now. Seek the crystal of wisdom hidden in the depths of the whispering woods. But beware, for the path is fraught with peril and riddled with puzzles." Paige couldn't help but laugh at the absurdity of the situation. Here she was, standing in a magical forest in her living room, about to embark on a fantastical quest with her friends. A few months ago, this would have sent her running for the hills. Now, she found herself excited by the prospect. "Well," she said, adjusting her magical librarian spectacles, "I suppose we'd better start looking for clues. Any ideas, oh wise wizard?" She turned to Elliot with a playful smirk. Elliot stroked his suddenly present beard thoughtfully. "I suggest we consult the ancient texts. Surely a librarian of your caliber can decipher their secrets." As if on cue, a book materialized in Paige's hands. She opened it, and glowing words floated off the page, forming a riddle in the air. "Through branches thick and shadows deep, where silent guardians their vigil keep, seek the path that moonlight shows, to find the crystal's hidden glows."
Oh,
A riddle! Maggie exclaimed, bouncing on her toes, her warrior princess armor clanking. "I love riddles. Although I'm usually better at smashing things." Jasper strummed his magical lute, which had appeared out of nowhere. "Perhaps a song will help us think?" He began to play a jaunty tune, and to everyone's amusement, the trees around them started swaying in time to the music. As they debated the meaning of the riddle, the forest around them came alive with magical creatures. A group of pixies fluttered by, giggling and tossing glittery dust in their wake. A wise old owl perched on a nearby branch, offering cryptic advice in rhyme. Paige found herself thoroughly enjoying the experience. She laughed as Elliot attempted to cast spells with his new wizard powers, resulting in a shower of multicolored sparks that turned Jasper's hair a vibrant purple. She cheered when Maggie used her warrior strength to move a boulder, revealing a hidden path. Their first challenge came in the form of a mischievous group of forest sprites who demanded a dance-off in exchange for passage through their territory. Jasper's bard skills came in handy as he played a lively tune, while the others attempted to keep up with the sprites' impossible moves. Paige surprised everyone, including herself, with a particularly graceful twirl that had the sprites cheering. "Who knew our librarian had such moves?" Elliot teased, slightly out of breath from his own attempts at magical dancing. Paige grinned, her cheeks flushed with exertion and excitement. "There's a lot you don't know about me, Mr. Wizard. I contain multitudes." As they progressed deeper into the forest, the challenges became more complex. They encountered a bridge guarded by a troll who insisted on a battle of wits. Paige's quick thinking and vast knowledge from years of reading came to the forefront as she engaged the troll in a rapid-fire round of riddles and trivia. "What has roots as nobody sees, is taller than trees, up, up it goes, and yet never grows," the troll growled. Without missing a beat, Paige replied, "A mountain." The troll's eyes widened in surprise. "Correct. But can you tell me what building has the most stories?" Paige smirked. "That's easy. A library, of course." As the troll grudgingly allowed them to pass, Maggie whooped with delight. "That was amazing, Paige. You showed that troll who's boss." Elliot squeezed Paige's hand, his eyes shining with pride. "I always knew you were brilliant, but seeing you in action like this, it's something else entirely." Their next obstacle was a maze of mirrors, each reflection showing a different version of reality. Elliot's magical abilities were put to the test as he tried to discern the true path from the illusions. "It's all about perspective," he mused, waving his wand in intricate patterns. "We need to look beyond what our eyes are telling us." As they navigated the maze, Paige found herself reflecting on how much she'd changed since meeting Elliot. The woman who once found comfort in the predictable routine of her library now reveled in the joy of the unexpected. She watched as Elliot confidently led them through the maze, his magic intertwining with the game's enchantments, and felt a surge of affection. Finally, they emerged from the maze into a moonlit clearing. At its center stood an ancient tree, its branches reaching towards the stars. Nestled in its roots was a glowing crystal. "The crystal of wisdom," Jasper breathed. "We've found it." But as they approached, the tree's branches came to life, forming a protective barrier around the crystal. A deep, rumbling voice emanated from the trunk. "Only the purest of heart and the wisest of minds may claim the crystal," it intoned. "Prove your worth, adventurers." What followed was a series. As they said their goodbyes and headed home, walking hand in hand under the starlit sky, Paige felt a sense of excitement for what the future might hold. The fundraiser was approaching, bringing with it new challenges and opportunities for magical mishaps. But with Elliot by her side and her newfound appreciation for the unexpected, she knew they could handle anything. "You know," Paige said as they neared her apartment, "I think I have some new ideas for the fundraiser. What if we incorporated elements from tonight's game? A magical scavenger hunt through the library, with books coming to life and riddles to solve." Elliot grinned, his eyes lighting up with enthusiasm. "That sounds brilliant. We could create different themed areas, like we did in the game. A fantasy section with magical creatures, a mystery corner with puzzles to solve." As they continued to brainstorm, their excitement building, either noticed the faint glow emanating from Paige's bag where she tucked away a souvenir from the game, a small, seemingly ordinary book that was anything but. Little did they know, their magical game night was about to spill over into reality in ways they never could have imagined. The line between fantasy and reality was blurring, and their biggest adventure was just beginning. The next morning, as Paige prepared for another day at the library, she felt a lingering sense of the previous night's magic. She couldn't wait to start implementing their new ideas for the fundraiser. As she reached for her favorite book to take with her, she paused, her hand hovering over the small game souvenir instead. Why not, she thought, slipping it into her bag. A little magic might be just what the library needs today.